Ando. Not only did the mandated break obviously upset you over summer, but many other instances, all of us, that wasn't upset the team, but many other instances of things that would upset you continued to flood inboxes. And so when I was allowed to do work, as the mandated break ended, my God, was I treated to a surprise and a bounty. Let's do this.
Everything is neat and practical, 'cause that's the way he likes it. But what if it wasn't? Upset Andy.
Good question, Haim. What if it wasn't? And we'll find out today as we continue to upset Ando. Jack, you said you had a query.
Oh, I was surprised to see, I was a guest of Andy Lee's beach house at the end of February, and I was surprised to see still hanging.
I wasn't there, by the way. I didn't invite him down. He asked whether he could use the house.
Oh, no, I know exactly what would have happened.
Fantasy football friends. They all, I think 12 of them came down. Yeah.
Jack, was this, right, so it was you and your fantasy football league?
It was the whole league, yeah.
The whole league start of year party at Andy's beach house.
Exactly. Because it's interesting, because I said to Jack, hey, if you and Bianca ever want to get away with Gordy for a lovely family little time.
That's about the amount of people you would offer a house to.
I know it's been a busy year, obviously, with breakfast radio and Gordy growing up.
What a mate.
Yeah, it'd be great. And he goes, that'd be great. I will take you up on that. A few weeks later, text message. Can I have my fantasy football league? I think it started with, I will take you up on that offer.
I'll take you up on part of it. I'll be there. And I wonder if I could just rotate Bianca out for 11 guys.
No, thank you. We had a great time, so thank you for having us.
This sounds like it's instead of a card. What did Jack say in the thank you card, Ando?
Is there a card, Jack?
There wasn't a card, only because when we got down there seemed to be already a gift from maybe a previous person you had in there sitting on the dining table.
I want to do too.
So I thought,
sorry, someone else has brought a gift to the wedding. Do I still give the toaster or can I take that back?
It just looked like, the last thing I want Andy to do is have a long week, come down to his beach house, and there's gifts everywhere.
That'd be so
What a mate. What a gift shield. Gift shielding.
Thank
the
you for that.
kindest thing a friend can
Very
do.
considerate of you.
It's quite the sell. Yeah.
Anyway, this was meant to be me grilling back the other way, not me putting myself in the headlights. But what I did see at Andy's beach house above the fireplace were Christmas stockings hanging up there 2 months after Christmas.
Yeah, we go quite late with that kind of gear. I just got rid of the Christmas tree before you arrived, actually. Anytime that Taylor Swift song comes on, that she says we can leave the Christmas lights up through January, Beck always goes, let's leave. I think she's such a Swiftie.
It's a directive from Taylor. She hasn't told us to take them down yet. Honey, it's June. The tree's dead. Shut up. Wait till Taylor. She's going to release a song soon that will have further instructions.
I think that's the vibe. Beck, whenever I say, should we put these away, Beck's going, no.
Yes.
No, because
not yet. Any moment now, just refreshing Spotify.
So yes, it does bother me. It does irk me. It does irk me. But
I would say though, as a net effect there, bringing that topic up, I don't think you've walked away from this skirmish having landed the most blows.
I think you're right.
Because I think myself and the listeners have delighted in knowing that you've treated 11 of the boys to Ando's house, and the one gift you gave him was the absence of gift clutter. Was this a very early to go start of season, or was this a reward for the last season?
No, this is the most important part of fantasy, doing the actual draft. So getting everybody into the same room, look at a big screen.
Yeah. I don't do fantasy football, but is February early to go for the draft?
No, not really. It's only a couple of weeks out from the round one.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it's good for me to know Andy's feeling about, I was probably taking liberties asking that because there was a lot of talk of, let's make this an annual event.
Hey,
as long as you don't bring a gift.
Is it just me, or is this completely free weekend in a beach house pretty good? Make it weekly. I mean, it's no skin off anyone else except Andy's nose.
Certainly, no skin off the gift shops in the local area.
I'll do the gift this week, guys. Gift, of course, ensuring the kitchen table remains completely empty. Wow.
Oh, well, yeah.
We found a few things that might have irked Andy, but it ain't the stockings. All right, let's kick it off. All right. Danielle, thanks for holding on through that. What a treat for you, though. Danielle, have you got something to upset Andy?
Ahoy, boys. Yes, I do. So in my office, we hot desk, and every desk has 2 screens set up. So we just plug in our laptops and use the 2 screens. The second screen can either be swiveled to portrait or landscape, whatever you prefer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have a coworker who every time she docks in, her settings on her laptop are for a landscape screen.
No.
If the screen is portrait, rather than just swivel it, she just works on a sideways screen.
No. Oh,
It's so hard to even maneuver a mouse on a screen like that because you're not used to the direction that it's going.
You get used to it. I mean, but who's got the time to get behind there and I assume that changing the screen orientation would be a lot of rejigging.
No. It'd just be one little screw at the back. Well, one little.
So you're going to get behind the screen.
You literally just have to turn it.
Yeah.
It seems like she's doing all right with it. What does she say?
Awful, Danielle. That is awful. I'd probably come in early and do it for her. I think I couldn't sit in an office environment watching her do that all day.
I would love to be your boss in a situation like this. It's probably best that we ended up being like mates and co-workers.
Yes.
Rather than
You're my
get
boss.
to be your boss because I would deploy you two next to each other all the time. And then I'd invite other bosses over to go watch this. This guy hates this.
This guy gets Wonderful. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, Perry hot, that one for an upset Andy. Well, great way to kick it off.
Kim, have you got something to upset Ando?
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Kim.
So our family eats a lot of frozen berries. So I buy those big 1 kilo bags that have the very convenient perforated top that you can just tear off. And
that is nice.
They're also blessed with the resealable top that you just press shut.
I know exactly the one.
Yes. Well, my wonderfully fast and loose husband, he never bothers to tear off that convenient perforated top. Instead, he just gets the scissors, cuts the corner off the bottom of the packet.
No.
Gets what he needs, folds the packet over itself, and back into the freezer it goes. So then I come along.
You open it up.
The freezer, grab the bag out, assume it's sealed at the top, as it normally would. And a kilo of berries fall over the floor. They roll under the fridge forever, and the kids go wild.
That is
long may it rain.
That
long
is
may it rain berries.
Have you had a discussion with him? I'd be definitely.
Well, I actually did this morning, and he told me, "Oh, you think that's bad? You should see the one that's in the freezer at the moment." I didn't even get the scissors. I just tore it open with my teeth.
That's what I was going to say. I'm surprised he's using the scissors because I get in trouble for tearing at all the bags that do have the resealable system. But whether it's fish fingers or like hash browns or any of that, whatever that plastic is that encases frozen stuff, there's a certain breed of us, fast and loosies, that quite enjoys the ability we have to tear it wide open.
As soon as the resealable function is rendered useless.
Here we go. Sorry, Dad.
It'll travel straight into a Tupperware container in my household.
Yeah, Andy, one of the great crimes of Andy's house, and bear this in mind for when you're down there this weekend, Jack, with the boys, is a non-sealed sealable. Yeah. That's got to be, that's right up there. The Kinger. Great.
Gosh,
love it,
two
love
from
it, Kim.
two. From Kim to Campbell. Ahoy, Campbell.
Ahoy, Campbell.
Hi, lads. How you going?
Yeah, good.
Very good, mate. What have you got to upset Ando?
Look, it pains me to bring this to the table because I think Andy and I are kindred spirits in this regard. I'm a big fan of order and predictability.
Good
but,
man.
It's a real shame, but in my in-laws' house, in their kitchen, even though they do have a bin, which is mounted to the inside of a cupboard door, their preference is to use an open plastic bag, which they situate adjacent to the stovetop, and just put their rubbish bins there.
Yeah, I've seen this happen before. I hate that.
I got to ask Campbell, is that a one-off, like when you're like shelling prawns or something that's going to stink out the bin and you're using that as a temp bin, which I will often do?
I wish it's a permanent fixture. And
well, I get it. I mean, the joy of having the benchtop bin, though, not having to open shut with the bins. I can see how that would get tiring. Kate.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Kate.
Ahoy to you. Gusto to you, Kate. What have you got to upset Andy?
So I do a lot of harvest work, so we're constantly fueling stuff up, you're tiring. And this hates me. I'm a bit like Andy, I must say. And, like the typical yellow nozzle that it comes with jerry cans, you know, for the easy pour, spill-free.
Yep.
One of the guys I work for, just fast and loose, doesn't use it, aims for the hole, and most of it just goes all over everything. Most of it does not make it into the motor. And
I've been guilty of that.
All over you all day.
Yep, I've been guilty of that myself because you have to get your finger in to pull that nozzle out of the jerry can. And there's a bit of you goes, to bend all the way down there and get that. I'll probably just nail it. I'll probably just bullseye this. And then there is the slosh effect.
See, I have a
can, unfortunately.
Even if I get a little few drips coming out of my car.
Okay, I'm glad. I didn't know where we were going with that. Don't tell me you asked the doctors to install a nozzle.
Hell, you think about it. No, I'm disappointed with myself.
Same as you're thinking with the retractable straw.
I'm disappointed with myself if there's any petrol that misses from out of the car.
Yeah. A fuel drip, and that's off like 60 litres.
Yes, and then my dad's always taught me to go and get the watering can, replace the tank cap on, and then just splash some water over it to move to get rid of.
What's the theory there?
I don't know. Now I've said it out loud. I think it's just to wash away the petrol from the side of the tank cap
for safety.
I guess
probably aesthetics, knowing you and Mick. But anyway, I fully appreciate gambling on a bullseye.
Great one, Kate. That's enough for me.
And to be continued for you, Jack, on the Beach House gear. And we have been peppering you a bit lately since the start of the year. We've done one or two, but we have such a backlog of upset Andys to clear. I feel like the backlog would upset you. If you saw how many.
That's very true.
So breaks my damn heart, sir.
But you've softened the blow. It's good bedside manner giving me bad news because the idea of lessening a backlog definitely does appeal.
What would you say if I told you that you could clear a backlog today?
Thank you.
In minutes.
Let me do it.
Okay.
Everything is neat and practical, 'cause that's the way he likes it. But what if it wasn't? Upset Andy.
Okay. A lot of upset Andys coming in. I mean, we see them in real life. Jack, did you have one that you said before that you...
Yeah, I got a brand new one. It actually even annoys me, so I don't know why I don't fix it, but my desk at home is a mess. Cables running everywhere, bits of paper and everything. I plug my phone in.
Let me at it.
You would really clean it up.
It could be too much even for you, Ando.
I don't think so.
What's your desk like? I bet you've got cable clips, don't you?
100%. Well, I don't have
round the back.
Why do you need so many cords?
Because I charge my phone on there, I charge the watch on there. I got different things I'm charging, and then I've got also a loose phone charger.
Why?
But I don't know. But now the cable of the loose phone charger is mixed up with the other ones. So every night I plug it in, sometimes twice. Sometimes I get it in the first go, but it's just a lucky dip whether it's the one that charges or not.
One's in, one's out.
Yeah, that would annoy me.
I have so many spare cables floating around, always in the hope that a backup will be needed.
Yes,
like
that's
backpacks, drawers. I'm always just desperate for the moment where someone goes, then we've got a spare cable.
Yep.
It doesn't happen that much.
No. No, Jack, come around to my
But Jack,
house.
think about the time you would spend undoing that though, Jack.
Yes, undoing the cable, figuring out which one's which.
You've got a young son. You want to see him grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the most precious years of your life.
I'm doing that. All of a sudden I turn around and
he's 15. Yeah.
All right, you've got a backlog. We've got a backlog.
All right, Frankie, a gusto to you.
Ahoy, Frankie.
Ahoy.
What have you got for Ando?
So this is a calendar-based one. So basically my partner works fly in, fly out, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And I've got his roster in my calendar so that if any events come up, I know if he's here or not.
Oh, that's perfect. So far, pleasing Andy. I would say Andy loves a shared
100%.
calendar.
Yeah. So about 4 months ago, his roster actually switched. So now if I check my calendar to see if he's coming to an event, it actually says he's here, but I just remember, no, he's not.
I know, I hate
yeah. Like, I'm not going to reprogram the calendar.
You should. Because
that kind of time.
Yeah, but what if your brain
I don't know
forgets?
If the time does. No. It's really not that hard. You just go, he's here, not here.
Okay, that's interesting.
You know?
Yeah. And I dare say, Frankie, the time will come again when the calendar, the shifts swing the other way, and then it'll be back to perfect.
It's changing. It changes all the time.
Yeah, you're like the person that just waits out daylight savings. I don't like those type of people. Yeah,
every year on our Magna.
Yeah,
no one knew how to change. No one knew how to change the Magna's time.
Jacob, ahoy to you, Jacob.
What have you got to upset Andy?
So I've got a lawnmower that's battery powered, and I know that my backyard takes 2 cycles of the battery. So I have to do one half of the yard, charge the battery, then go again. So what I sometimes do is I'll mow one half of the lawn up and down, and then I'll mow it side to side for the second battery run.
So hang on. So what the net effect though is you've still got a mown lawn. You
do, but you've got the mow patterns going lengthways, then on the other half they're going sideways.
You see the patterns, do you?
Yeah, you see the patterns, yeah. And one half of the lawn's going up and down, and the other half's going side to side. Like I said, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to see a photo to see if it bothers me.
Oh, it would bother you. I can picture this, and there's no way this pleases you, Andy. This would be almost like someone going out and mowing the lawn as if they're vacuuming the floor, like just mowing it around, just pushing it around until it's all mown.
But I think that if it's perfectly half,
might be stylistic choice.
There might be like a stylistic choice, the way that, sometimes at a palace or something, they mow it in different directions to create a curious pattern.
It's an interesting area for us to get into here, Jacob, because Andy's old house he lived in, and he's currently on the run and staying at various safe houses, but his old house he lived in had no lawn, townhouse, inner city townhouse. The haunted house he's renovating will, I assume, have a giant lawn.
Yes, that's some lawn.
Yeah, 7 or 8 acres. That's what I heard.
Good, Jacob. And I reckon, Andy, lawn mowing patterns are going to be a massive part of your life. We'll come back to this episode, I think, be like, remember the days where Andy was like vaguely interested in lawn mowing?
I think I was thinking of getting in that little robot.
Look, Andy, try it, and then if you like it, then great. If you don't like it, then there you go.
Okay, yeah.
I think even the recharging. I think I don't mind having Jacob here always, just for some sick burns. I like. I mean, even the fact that he has to charge it, Ando, for 2 hours.
That's the part I disliked about it. The fact
because if that was me, there's no chance the lawn would be getting mowed on the same day.
No way. And I'm with you.
Two shifts.
He should get a second battery pack so he can go in, flick it straight over, and then head back out. But yeah, the idea of
are you going to send him one?
Nope. Not after the jibe about the acreage.
Just doing a little test here to see if we're turning into that kind of show. We're not. Eden. Ahoy
to you, Eden.
Ahoy, boys. Happy birthday, Andy.
Don't celebrate him.
Very good. Eden, what have you got for Ando?
So this annoys my partner as well. So he's very much like Andy. When I am folding my towels or tea towels, I don't really care if it's long edge to long edge or short edge to short edge. And so when I put them away, they're all different sizes.
It's actually another length versus width, not caring scenario.
Because I'm normally doing. I'm doing my folding when I'm watching TV. Change it up.
No, as long as they're folded. I mean,
the only way I would accept this.
Here we go.
Is if the cupboard they're kept in, it fits better if you have a certain amount going long ways, and then it fits the other, the extra little, the shorter way fits better in the cupboard.
Yeah. That noise you heard was Eden falling asleep there. It was absolutely not Tetris folding my towels, so I get a perfect score.
Thanks, Eden. Jared, wrap this up for us. We want this backlog cleaned out.
Ahoy, boys. How's it going?
Yeah, very good, Jared. Gusto to you,
That's
sir.
the way. Thank you. So, I bought a new TV in 2018. Yes, must be nice.
Well, 2018.
6 years ago. Probably about the regular turnover.
At the time, yes, it would have been
If you bought four since then.
Yes. considering it's about the size of Andy's touchscreen for his golf simulator.
This is going great. Jared, yes. So you've got an enormous TV. What on it bothers you or doesn't bother you?
Well, it doesn't bother me, but to this day, it's still got the advertising sticker in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, I hate that. The same with the one. I don't even like when you've got the star rating on the lawn, like the washing machine.
You take the star rating off.
Yeah,
what are you taking it off for? What are you hiding?
It's for advertising purposes to market it. It's like
so you think that's a showroom only
It's a
sticker?
showroom only thing. It's like wearing the tag on your T-shirt around. It's like the price tag. You got to get rid of that stuff.
But the sticker on the sticker on a screen, and I've seen you go absolutely bananas for a fleck on a screen.
Yeah, no, that's the hottest we've had, Jared. That was you take the cake today.
What sticker is it? Like, it's not the energy sticker, is it? Just
the price? I think he said.
Well, it's just the 2018 new sticker from when we got it, which takes up a large portion of the corner.
And do you have any times where it crosses your mind that you should go over and get that off, or just kind of a bit of a jam-packed schedule?
Well, there's a couple of sports where it blocks out the scoreboard, but you sort of...
Again,
I think you
generally know who's winning. You can tell from the looks on their faces.
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell from their attitude. The scores for hacks. And these continue to roll in. And the last thing I want in the world is to upset you.
I don't know. And 20 years of evidence.
But then sometimes it seems to be what the people want to do. So let's see if some of these upset you.
Everything is neat and practical, 'cause that's the way he likes it. But what if it wasn't? Upset Andy.
Can I self-report?
Yeah, you can.
Self-report on something that's upsetting me at home. And we're in a rental at the moment, and the cupboard space in the bathroom is limited.
Yep.
And it's quite a short cupboard. And Beck realised that she can only get her deodorant in and a few other items if she takes the lid off.
And it just sneaks in.
It just gets in. So that's nice. But also just seeing
a lidless deodorant. It shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
Is it a roll-on or a spray? I guess that
it's a spray.
Then it's fine.
Oh yeah, roll-on would matter because you're losing half a sphere. Half a sphere of
unless you're continuously going in there to move the sphere around to keep it lubed up.
Well, then it's even worse. Then you
wouldn't do that.
You'd keep losing it. Be evaporating. You're evaporating half a sphere of dosage. But a spray should not matter.
Shouldn't matter. No.
But you don't like seeing an uncapped.
No. There's a cap there for a reason. Looks neat.
There's actually only the reason for capped deodorant is just for travel, really.
Yeah, it's true.
And it
shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
As we find out with all of these, Yola, ahoy.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy to you.
What have you got to upset Andy?
So I recently went to IKEA and bought a chest of drawers. It turns out that IKEA only included one of the two backing panels in the box.
Oh, a rare miss.
So instead of going back to IKEA to ask for the missing piece.
Who's got time for that?
Exactly right. I eventually just nailed the one panel I did receive in the middle of the drawers so that both sides were 50% covered in the middle and thus felt included.
Yes.
Although it does mean there is now a 25% gap on both outer sides.
But I assume, I know you don't like it, but here's the way you make it work. When you've obviously got two sides of drawers. When you put things in, do you squash the stuff to the middle so it's kind of using the back and less stuff's going to fall out the back?
Well, I just figured that something just needed to be there. Yeah. So there was some unauthorized screwing of nails in unauthorized places.
A gesture. It just needs a gesture of backing.
What about hard up against a wall, creating a back? Might have looked a bit neater.
It is up against the wall, but I felt like it needed a secondary wall, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, that definitely upsets me.
Anytime you're nailing something from IKEA that specifically doesn't have nails, you've gone rogue and now you're on your own.
Thanks, Yola.
Jake, have you got something to upset Andy?
Ahoy.
Ahoy, sir.
So recently we found out that one of my mates, when he orders an Uber, instead of typing in the address, he'll drop a location pin. which I'm fine with, but only when you get the location right.
So when he goes, this is where we're off to, he'll just guess the pin, or he'll just sort of pop the pin loosely where you're going.
What?
So you scroll down to the bottom and there's an option to set location on the map. And we're heading to Perth Stadium once, and you can get dropped off at a bridge at East Perth and walk across. Yeah. But instead, the Uber took us to an industrial zone next to the freeway bridge. And when we asked him how we got there, he said, I knew it was near a bridge, but I guess I got the wrong bridge.
I hate that. It also
a rare one that takes longer. A rare upsetting that's actually taking longer to increase complexity. But a good one.
No, he wouldn't last long.
I knew it was near a bridge.
Yeah.
God, far out. 6 days in the Uber. Sydney Harbour Bridge. That does seem a long way away. Hayley, have you got something to upset Andy?
Hello, yes, I do. When my partner Thomas and I, we moved into our first rental years and years ago, and we didn't have any of our own plates. So my parents had a set of old plates in storage, so we thought to save money, we'll grab those.
Yeah.
And we found out that the plates were these very large square plates, which didn't quite fit into the microwave. So they do fit if you put them in squarely, but as soon as you turn the microwave on, you'll hit the start.
Rotate.
Yeah. So they just don't spin in the microwave, which means that the food doesn't really heat very evenly.
Oh, you just have to blast it a bit more, don't you?
I don't.
Yeah, exactly. We just take it out, give it a bit of a stir, put it back in. And
with enough time, nothing can survive in a microwave.
I don't like that either. I have a problem with things that don't rotate in the microwave. I know it doesn't really matter that much.
Do you put them on the outside or do you put it on the inside? Do you put a bowl on the outside so it gets more rotation?
No, inside.
I've seen people do that trick.
I'm dead middle. Is it better to go on the outside?
No, I would, because then the outside of the bowl would get hotter than the inside of the bowl, wouldn't it? Because doesn't the microwaves come from the side?
Well, the microwaves come from the side.
I think they come from all sides. Well, I tell you what, I'm yet to master my. Here's what I would like to know about microwaves. Not what we're talking about, but what is the setting that means my bowl is scorching hot and the chili con carne is freezing? Every time I can see it on the microwave, I'm like, I can't hold this bowl, but the food has remained untouched.
Obviously, I think it's just the whatever the bowl's made of, the ceramics is going to heat more quickly.
But it shouldn't, because I think microwaves actually heat water. That's what they're programmed to do. They're programmed to agitate water.
So you got soggy bowls.
I must have high water content.
So you can get up to like 1,400 watt microwaves these days. Must be nice. And so this is, again, it's definitely an upset Andy, but Beck will put things in like the rice, but she doesn't read the pack, and it's actually, they say on 1,800 watts, do it for...
Calm it down.
2 minutes. So if you put it in for 1,400 watts, 2 minutes, it comes out just explosive. So you should calm it down, the microwave.
Depending on the wattage. No one's got time for that.
No one ever
No one's got time for that. See, okay, I feel sorry for Hayley. And look, the thing is, I am an upset Hamish is a square plate. Because just don't try and change the game where it doesn't need to be changed.
I agree.
There are some areas I'm very welcome for game changing. We didn't need to change plates up.
No,
round works. So I'm kind of with you. Matt, finish us off. One more thing to upset Andy.
Ahoy, boys. How are we?
Very good, mate.
Excellent. So this was a couple of months ago, and this got me absolutely red hot. So I don't know how you're going to go, Ando. But I was house-sitting my brother and his partner's house for a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And in one of their drawers in the kitchen, they've got a bunch of glassware. It's more like your champagne flutes and not your sort of everyday glasses.
Yeah, right. Secondary glass.
Secondary glasses.
I don't like it in a drawer to begin with. Just, you know,
Not off to a good start then.
No. Particularly champagne glasses, they're too tippy. Yeah, you're adding anyway, we all know.
So some of the glasses in there were like Sunday glasses, which is sort of like martini glasses, but like the glass is a little bit thicker. Okay. And the lip of them is uneven. Like, I guess it's like a decorative thing.
Yeah.
But what they've done is they put them in the drawer with the lip side down, the uneven side down.
Yes.
So when you open the drawer, they're all like wobbling around and bashing into each other and making a huge racket.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, A, take them out of the drawer.
Yep.
B, like you said, if they're meant to be kind of this new fandangled designer lip.
You and your new glasses, the youth Gen Z and their new glasses.
They've got some similar ones recently, which are like uneven on the top, like by design.
Yeah.
And like they're all handcrafted. Who cares? Like, and then
you wouldn't accept a handcrafted car. Sometimes machines know how to do it better.
Don't put them upside down. That's the second.
I imagine, Matt, there would have been more disasters in the kitchen, Matt. If that's, I feel like you'd just be scratching the surface there. If that's what they're doing to their secondary glassware. Were they one of these? Were they a family that doesn't separate forks, knives, and spoons?
No, they did a bit of that. Good. But, there was a bit of shambles going on. But inside the same drawer, they've also got these, like, I guess they're like smoothie glasses. The sort of thing you see on, like, Instagram. Like, they're just sort of like a glass cylinder with a straw in it. So they were in the same drawer, but they were laying on their sides as well.
They're rolling. No.
Yeah, they're rolling around as well.
Mayhem.
Absolute chaos.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
Mayhem in that drawer.
Yeah.
I do understand, though. I mean, not everyone's got time to have a special shelf for glasses and, to put them upside down. But, God, it's like when the Titanic hits the iceberg. You know how, like, all the chandeliers bash and everything? Like, it'd just be like that on a daily basis.
Thank you, Matt.
No worries, boys. Thank you.
And as every week goes by, I notice you getting, you peak and trough. Like, are you relaxed? Are you comfortable?
I feel pretty happy lately, yeah.
And that's why an alarm went off. My control HQ was like, let's see if we can upset him.
Everything is neat and practical, 'cause that's the way he likes it. But what if it wasn't? Upset Andy.
Here's one I was actually thinking about this morning. This is a barometer. I was like, wonder if this is another one that like is a good decider between me and Andy. And I don't know. I'd be interested to know what you said on this too, Jacko. 2-litre milk container.
Yep.
So the plastic kind of jug container. Surely, when you take the lid off of that, you use your milk. Surely you squeeze it back on.
Oh, hate that. No, you screw that back on.
Oh my God, who screws it
I've
back
never heard of the squeeze back
You
on.
just jam it back on and it jumps the ridges and you might tighten you might do a quarter turn at the end. Do you not just press it back on?
No.
Who has got the time, mate? Oh my God.
But
that must be nice.
It could hurt the seal.
Yeah.
And
you're not tipping your milk upside down.
Well, some of us have smaller fridges that need to lie their milk in on their side, so I wouldn't risk.
Yeah, well, it's not you.
No, unfortunately, small fridge in the rental that Rebecca and I are in.
Okay.
So, yes.
But
I still, even regardless of...
You actually...
Yes,
people will
whether
be
I do
flipping out.
running a vertical or horizontal milk.
People will be flipping out of this. So you unscrew the milk.
Yeah.
And then you put it softly on the top and then
Screw it back down.
screw.
Jack, I didn't even know push it on was an
Jack,
option.
Start pushing. You'll never go back. Because you pop it, because it's a really thin plastic.
I've seen you do it. No.
Bet you have. That's why I've been invited back for a while.
I've bitten my bottom.
I noticed. Ruined your shirt and all the blood pouring down your face. What's he doing? All right, great. Key2, you've got something to upset Andy?
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Key2.
Ahoy.
So my boyfriend and I share a car. Quite common man of us, actually.
Very common man.
And we've got 2 identical sets of car keys, but one of them's been flat for like a year or so now.
Yeah.
So we still keep them both in the key bowl next to the front door. And when we leave the apartment, we just kind of grab one and hope for the best.
I just think in today's...
We're on the 3rd floor of the apartment block, so it's a long walk of shame if we get it wrong.
Oh, if it's not the right key.
That is awful. The other thing is...
When do you do all this stuff, Andy, this admin? Like, me and Key2 and the rest, we just don't have time to sit down and be like,
I don't even know where to get a key battery change.
Yeah, like Sunday afternoon, I'm going to go and get the key battery change. Just forget about it, mate.
I go to my cupboard of batteries of various sizes.
You wouldn't have a battery for the key remote.
I do. Yeah, and then that can be replenished by putting it on the ongoing digital shopping list.
Even that on a Saturday afternoon, like there's so many better things to do.
Yeah, but it's just as long if you do it once, just as long as Key2 having to walk back to her apartment because she's got the flat key.
Unless you get it right every time from now on, and I would believe that I could do that. Thanks, Key2. Angus.
Yep.
Angus, have you got something to upset Andy?
Hi, boys. How are we?
Ahoy.
Good,
very
good.
Ahoy
to you. Gusto to you.
Just a quick congrats, Haim, on the humongous P as well. I can only imagine the duress you must be under every day. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Trying
to put it behind me.
You want a bladder competition?
I obviously, there's more to me than that, but I appreciate your interest in science. What upsets you?
Yeah, so I work in an office and I'm sending emails pretty much all day, every day. So obviously when you open a new email, your email signature auto-populates at the bottom. You've got your name, address, phone number. Now, for some reason, all of it's in size 12 Arial, but just the street address of our office is in size 13 Helvetica.
No, not for me.
And no matter how many times I change it and resave it, it just always goes back. So I have to select it all, copy it, go into a Word doc, paste it, reformat it, go back into the email, paste it back. It's probably 50, 60 times a day.
And you do that?
Well, if I'm in a...
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, no, he said what he needed to say. No, I think he's a you. He's a you. He can't handle... Can you tell 1 point difference of font?
Yeah, who cares? Who's reading the bottom of someone's email signature anyway?
Also,
exactly, Jack. Who cares?
He also had a different font, so that was part of it. But it would bother me. But just doing it every day, that wouldn't happen. I'd get to the bottom of that stuff.
All I'm saying is, Angus, you are me, but more of a white or a yellow belt. Certainly not a black belt level organizer. Sarah, upset Ando?
Yes, I think I've got a story to upset Ando.
Very good.
When I was in my 20s, I lived in a share house with a bunch of friends. And one day, one of my friends in the room next to me came home with a very large waterbed.
Awesome.
And I thought, oh, God, here's trouble. Anyway, I decided to help her put it together. So we set about putting the wooden base together. We put it in the middle of the room so that we could access all four corners. And it was huge. And we put the bladder in and filled it up with water. And then, of course, it never occurred to us that it would then weigh 1 ton.
Yeah, no, congrats on the SB. That is, you can't move them once they're full. It's about 200 kilos of water.
Not budget an inch.
No.
And it was partially obscuring the ability to open the door. It was crooked on an angle in the middle of the room, and that's where it had to stay.
No. That's fine. Floor space is floor space. It doesn't matter in the room. Still take up the same percentage of the room. You know where it is. More convenient, if anything.
Quicker to get to bed when you get to bed.
You're never too far from bed. You never have to walk all the way across the room.
Waterbeds are wobbly at the best of times to keep things on them. So if they're not surrounded by at least one barrier, surely the pillows, for instance, at the head would just fall off the back constantly.
Yeah, well, I guess they did.
Oh, gosh. Oh, well, Sarah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Tess, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, ahoy. I have a little upset Andy for you.
Let's get on me.
Last year I was crashing with some mates in Glasgow and I happened to be there for the end of their lease. So I was giving them a hand with the cleaning and whatnot. And they had a fully carpeted flat. So I go, oh, well, where's your vacuum? And they go, oh, we don't actually have a vacuum. We've just been using this. And they pull out a dustpan and brush.
For carpet?
You can sweep carpet.
You can't. You'll be there a while.
If it's a tight weave, you can sweep carpet.
So for the year, every couple of months when the floor got a bit crummy, they'd just give it a little sweep up with the brush.
It's appalling.
Renter's paradise. That sounds like a landlord problem, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And, of course they wanted their bond back. So we had to make sure we used the brush to create some nice strokes in the carpet to give the illusion of a freshly vacuumed floor.
Tess, I like the ingenuity for, university days and rentals.
They've got something.
They've got something. But, I'm not brushing carpet. You got time for one more?
Mike, wrap us up. Michael, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy,
Gusto to you, number 6.
Gusto to you, Michael. Do you have something to upset Andy?
I hope so. So my house has 8 windows, which are all winder windows, but we only have 5 winders. Of the winders we do have, one of them is not permanently attached, but I always forget which ones have the permanent one. So if you ever want to open a window and a winder's not there, you just start walking in and out of rooms trying to find the floater.
I think I know what you mean.
I didn't know winders could come and go.
I think you mean the winder windows, like it's got the little handle that you rotate and it opens and closes on the other side of the fly screen.
Yes, I understand.
Right. And so, I had these growing up too, and they do come off sometimes.
Yes.
And then you can move them to the other ones that have come off. You're meant to replace it.
That's so annoying.
So that is so annoying. So, essentially, you have to go to another room to get the winder to then come back.
That one might be stuck on. And you might,
That's right.
you might forget which winder. I think we actually ran a similar system as I was growing up.
That's right, exactly. I'm just going in the rooms trying to figure out where the winder is, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? It might be in the bedroom, might not be. Oh well, if it's not there, just go to the baby room. Just keep wandering around. You'll find one.
Michael, just buy 3 more winders.
Oh, what a luxury! What a luxury you have in life to just be walking around buying winders, fitting them,
$6.
and
Probably a drawer
them.
of extra ones, I imagine.
Mate, unbelievable. I just don't know where you think you get the time.
Hey, you were at the top of the show.
And I'd love to kick things off. We haven't done this for a while, and I was like, why don't we just do it at the top of the show? We usually upset you later in the show.
Oh, yes.
But if we upset you early.
Well, that's what,
no,
not
but
get
if we
out of the
upset you
way.
early,
But
take your medicine.
no, but that's not the way it works. Normally,
but
if you're with
then
your
you build
partner and you're on
back.
holidays, you're like, gosh, I won't tell them now because we've got windsurfing to do. And I don't
No. Let's do the fight on day one. Do it at the airport while we weren't having fun anyway.
Okay.
Everything is neat and practical, cause that's the way he likes it. But what if it wasn't? Upset Andy.
I've actually got a couple of personal ones to kick off with, Ando.
Okay.
For our wedding, which was now some years ago, 11, 12 years ago, we actually received 3 of the same or similar kind of cutlery sets. Okay.
Right.
We've never wanted for cutlery again for the rest of our lives. It's like a quite fancy handled.
And did you pull
set.
them all out at once, or?
Yeah, you would have kept them, but I just went, you know what? What are we saving it for? Like, there's about 20 of each knife and fork. Let's just use them for our life, because what if you go and get IKEA cutlery, it's like, we'll never ever pull the good cutlery out. So let's just get them in the drawer. The thing is, the knife is essentially a steak knife.
Mm-hmm.
And it occurred to me, every morning I sort of have peanut butter toast. Usually I have peanut butter toast. Does buttering peanut butter toast with a steak knife?
Yeah, that actually does annoy me. I've got my.
But why? It's a blade.
I don't
delivers
like anything.
It delivers the peanut butter.
Anything with a little serration or a little ridge, I don't use for the butter or not, because I just even like seeing the scrape, the corrugated iron butter. So this is actually a good one, Ham. I've got a specific butter knife down the beach house that I go to. I'm like, great, we're buttering some bread. Here I'm going for this knife.
So you don't like even any indent? Most butter knives at least have a tiny few teeth.
Yes, some butter knives you'll have like tiny little serrations on them.
Not a true one.
Okay.
So you just want a flat plank of metal. Smooth with a curve to it.
With a curve to it, and I'd like it to obviously be beveled into a sharper edge at one side.
Think about this. When I dig it into the peanut butter, because it's crunchy and it's like quite stiff peanut butter, it's coming up in all kind of weird shapes. I'm cutting the peanut butter out, jagging it on.
No, that doesn't suit me.
That's a real man's toast. So here's the other one. Although, I'm fast and loose, and you're a bit of a systems guy, right?
Mm.
It's becoming apparent to me as my son grows up, he's also a bit of a systems guy. So we've got this funny world where I'm raising, Fast and Lucy is raising a systems guy, like a wolf raising a human baby in the jungle. Yeah. And the human baby does have to do a few wolf things. Yes. He has to get a bit better at wolf culture, but also the wolf learns a bit from the human.
Absolutely.
And so I see the world through his eyes. He pointed out one the other day that I was like, I wouldn't see this in a million years, Sonny. In the back of buses, I'm sure everywhere, but in New South Wales, it's got the 40 sign. So it's like go slow around the bus. Then on one side of the 40 sign, it says when lights, and then on the other side says flashing.
Yep.
Right? Now, there's obviously different amounts of letters in the phrase when lights and flashing. And flashing's shorter than when lights.
Yep.
So it's uneven. Okay, so Sonny goes, why did they do that? Why did they make it uneven on both sides of the sign? And I go, well, I guess if they cut it exactly in half, it'd be like when flashing, people wouldn't be able to read it. He goes, no, but you put it above. You put it above and make it evenly spaced, and then you just have the 40 underneath. I went, he's got it. This human, he sees things that the wolves don't.
Yes.
And
I'm proud of him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably, as he grows up, I might have to come to you to go,
yep.
Sonny, he was mumbling something about why can't we just have a flat knife in the house? And do you know what that would be about? But we do have a lot of other fast and loose people to upset Andy. And in another move that brings me great joy, I couldn't be bothered getting my screen working on my side of the desk. I can't even see who we've got, which already upsets Andy.
Jess, ahoy to you.
Here we go. Thanks. Ahoy, Jess.
Hey, guys. So I have one that might simultaneously please and upset Andy.
Ooh, feels weird.
Like Andy, I love efficiency. And, when you go to the petrol pump, it always takes a while for it to actually start coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as soon as I reach the pump, I just start squeezing.
Wow.
Then I take off the cap with my other hand.
Oh, so it's already active.
Yeah. By the time it's open, the petrol will be flowing. Sometimes the petrol will go all over my car, but the rain eventually... It'll get washed off,
I reckon. Hey, Jess, I'm with you here. I love the idea of that time saver because you're a fast and loose boy. You got no time to wait for the pump to start flowing. Have I ever talked to you about the thing that I do with the toilet?
No.
Where I will be weeing in the toilet and I will start the flush early, hoping to time.
Why?
Why? You don't have to hang around for the flush.
I feel like it's a time saver. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I'm like, if I start the flush early, then I can finish and focus on. I think it's because I'm like, once I'm packing up, and I'm done, I don't then have to go over. I don't have to move my hand over to the top of the toilet. So I kind of get two things done at once. I'm pressing the button whilst I'm still going.
You can do that towards the end. You that
but it's while it's still going that's the time saving bit. I don't split it into two different jobs.
Yes, I quite like yours. I'm going to try it. I think I'll be conservative because again, the idea of having petrol on the ground doesn't excite me, and we shouldn't probably encourage that either to anyone to be having petrol fights like Zoolander. But
I always thought it was you're waiting for inside to press the button.
I don't think it's always them turning it on. I think it's just a lag in the system.
It must be a lag. They'd get so over that.
Thanks, Jess. Callum.
Ahoy, boys. Top of the gusto.
Top of the gusto. Top of the gusto meter to you, Callum. What have you got to upset Andy?
Yeah, it's pretty spicy. So my housemate, when I was at uni, he used to buy blocks of the Cadbury chocolate, but he wouldn't break a piece off when he'd eat it. He'd just bite straight into it.
And he almost left the room.
Yeah. To add to that, his favourite one, the snack ones where it's all the different flavours.
Yeah.
It's got that gooey fondant in it. So, yeah, he'd bite into that so, get a little bit of caramel, a little bit of strawberry.
Oh, just bursting out everywhere.
Yeah. No, that's red hot for me. That's
and you get the mozzarella string in, so it's going all over his hand and his chin, and
yeah, mate, that is just such a full-on way to eat chocolate, though. To eat it like it's a burger, chocolate is a. We can all acknowledge, even if you're scared of chocolate, like some of us, and the edges, it's a nibbling medium.
Yeah,
or at least it's
particularly
it's a
the ones that are
bite.
filled.
If you feel with a good bite.
Yeah, it's a considered bite. Thanks, Cal. Larry, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, Hamish and Andrew.
Oh, thank you for using my formal name. Larry, got something to upset me?
Good wrong foot, though. What have you got, Larry?
My upset Andy is that I never close the sunglasses compartment in my car so that I've always got easy access.
Awesome.
Hate that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's such a good one. Because why close it? You're just going to open it again. You're just creating more work for yourself down the track. I fully agree, Larry.
I mean, I've never used it either, I must admit.
You don't use the sunglasses compartment?
No.
That must upset you.
Well,
you've got a specific compartment you're not using.
Yeah, I do. That
you
does
put him back in the case and it doesn't fit in the compartment.
He would. He absolutely would.
Yeah, and he would have that little wipe that you use to do the lenses as well.
Andy, do you keep the wipe?
Yes, of course.
Unbelievable. You don't just use a jumper.
No. I'm not wearing a microcloth jumper, am I?
Do you fold the wipe?
Yeah.
Serial killer.
Yeah. The only time you ever use the wipe is day one of getting the sunglasses.
Day one, and they're not dirty enough.
Why? I use the wipe regularly.
No, you never keep the wipe.
Actually, Beck used the wipe because the sunglasses are in my glove compartment. So she'll get them when she gets them out for me if I'm driving. she often then goes, I'll give him a little wipe.
Oh, my God.
Jake, yes, that counts, Larry. Jacob, wrap this up all the way from New Zealand.
Hi, boys.
Ahoy to you.
So you know the light above the two front seats in the car?
Yep.
So I would turn it on, and then I get out of the car and I forget to switch it off.
Yep.
So it would drain the battery and come out flat battery in the morning. So instead of just making sure that I've turned it off, I just got the back end of a screwdriver and smashed the light.
Problemo solved. Brilliant.
What do you do, Jacob, when you need light?
Nothing really, just sit in darkness.
Yeah, but also let's be honest, what model car is this, Jacob?
It's not like a car like Jack's. It's a Mazda 2.
Oh yeah, not
like
everyone can have that.
The light being distributed by that thing is the weakest light of all time. Like, if it's even the thinnest sliver of moon outside, you don't need that light. So I think great move. Rather than sit through the annoyance of the flat battery, teach it a lesson, and it will be a lesson that it will never forget.
Well, not my approach, Jacob, but I appreciate it. Thanks, matey.
Instead of using the little cloth, I just smashed the glass. Smashed the glass out.